Hello and welcome to the second season of Inside Edition, where we discuss national, regional and international issues in depth. Our main focus today will be municipal services and how the Kingdom of Bahrain gives rights to foreigners to vote in municipal elections. We will be discussing the matter with Vice Chairman of the Capital Municipal Council, Engineer Mazen AlUmran. But first, this report for more.
Since its establishment in 1919, the municipal work in the Kingdom of Bahrain aims to meet the many requirements of both citizens and residents' daily life and contribute positively through its subsidiary departments, municipalities and centres to comprehensive development of the kingdom. This comes in line with the government's keen interest to develop all provided services, taking into consideration the principles of social participation and preserving environmental elements. Bahrain is a pioneering country in the organization of municipal work, marked by the issuance of the first municipal legislative system, which paved the way for the creation of municipality in Manama, in addition to the municipal law of 2001, followed by direct municipal elections.
Talk about municipal election. It's a participation of the people in having an elected employee. This elected employee, in fact, is working for the services of the areas that they are in. So municipal elections are very important, and I encourage everyone, especially the expats that are having place in Bahrain, residing in Bahrain, to participate into it.
Bahrain had its first municipal elections on May 9, 2002, which included 306 men and 31 women. The kingdom allows non-Bahrainis comprising Gulf nationals and foreigners who own property on the islet to elect their municipal councillors. With the introduction of the Kingdom of Bahrain's 2030 vision and the initiatives of the Economic Development Board intended to give birth and produce a governmental administrative environment that takes the lead in the economic and social advancements, all these offer an important opportunity to restructure and refashion the role of municipalities as a key partner in the development of policies, application of the development plans, provision of municipality services that are responsive to the local needs, thereby boosting the citizens and residents in the government and encouraging the citizens to become proactive participants in the initiatives intended to promote their local communities. The Kingdom has always been keen to support and encourage all initiatives launched to improve the quality of municipal services and highlight the tremendous efforts made by municipalities, associations, NGOs and individuals in this regard and promote the municipal work culture among citizens and expatriates.
Welcome back. With us is Engineer Mazen AlUmran. Thank you very much for being with us today. Engineer, thank you for joining us. It's been an honor to have you here with us today. We know that the municipality since 1919 has had a very vast and long history when it comes to all of the achievements and the capabilities that it has ensured for the citizens of Bahrain as well as the foreigners living here. So since 1919, the municipality in Bahrain went through several phases of development. What can you tell us about the most historical levels?
Okay, let's start. Thank you first for having me here and to talk on behalf of the Capital Municipal Council and the rest of the municipal councils that are on the three municipal councils, the northern, the southern and Muharrak. But I think what's important is to start in 1919, July 1919, when the first president of municipality was appointed. It was Sheikh Abdullah bin Isa Al Khalifa was the first one. And then there are others that came behind him. We will look through it in a picture which has been in a book. It's an interesting book. It's been done for 90 years of municipality in Bahrain. It shows that we have two of our leaders, two of our amirs. Sheikh Hamad bin Isa was also a municipal president, and the late, God bless his soul, Sheikh Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa, and His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa was also a president of the Capital Municipal Council.
Beautiful.
So to go back into that era, you see, it was initially, there was an initiation in 1920 to concentrate, to create a law that the capital is an important part of Bahrain, and we needed to start keeping it in a better condition than what it was. So we started, the law came out, there was a certain task that was given to the chairman with his committee, And the first task was basically, we had at that time very little facilities for municipal work.
Yes.
So we started by 1921, they built the first headquarter for municipality. A municipality in reality at that time was as if it is a mini government.
Yes.
Basically, it runs the day-to-day wellness of the people, create a better environment, clean the place, regulate the measurements. So there are a lot of work that had to be done by the municipality. At that time, we didn't have basically a government as such.
Yes.
There was the leader, and then the municipality chairman will report directly.
Even the funds were very little
Absolutely,
at that time.
absolutely.
I think we even have a picture of the first ever building that
Absolutely.
it was in. A picture.
Yeah, the first building, we look at it, the first headquarter of the municipality, Manama municipality,
Yeah.
was in the Yusuf bin Ahmed Kano building.
Yeah.
And then they started building the Baladiyya, we call it the Baladiyya.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
the right
municipality.
word. And it is in 1921. And that's how it looked, which was interesting.
For the longest time.
For that, in 90 years ago, more than 90 years ago.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay. So basically, there were a lot of things that needs to be done. And then as time went by, we had massive hills of garbage all around the capital in Manama. And it was a major job to remove everything, take it away, burn whatever it can be burned, and dispose of the rest in an area where it doesn't affect the capital as such.
Yes.
We had other areas, we didn't have the roads that was available. So there was a primitive way of widening the roads, creating roads, and in the old-fashioned way where you use only pebbles and sand, just to avoid when it rains, it doesn't become muddy and you cannot drive on it.
Yeah.
Although we had very little cars at that time, but I mean, still, it is an important thing.
Yeah.
We went into areas that are basically the weights and the standardization. These things that didn't exist. We had to number the houses and the shops with different numbering so that whatever you're going to charge the only thing that didn't come under the municipality was the custom.
Yeah.
One item basically wasn't under there. If you think of it, and we looked, I did a little bit of research and found that the revenue from the municipality at that time was 604,000 in 1920,
Okay.
which is not little,
No.
but most of this money it was received and paid into establishing, creating a better system, doing infrastructure work and so on and so forth.
Yes.
So it wasn't really, now we are talking about, for example, the Capital Municipal Council today, its budget is about 8 million.
Yeah.
So we are talking about a big difference.
Yes, yes.
What's important, I think, and necessary for people to realize is that the major change that happened when His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa, God bless his soul, took over as a president, and then we had straight away after him, His Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman took over, and that is in the dates. Sheikh Isa took over from 1956 to 1961 when His Highness Sheikh Salman bin Hamad died. So Sheikh Isa became the Emir of Bahrain, and then therefore Sheikh Khalifa took over as the head of the municipality at that time from 1962 to 1967.
Yeah.
If my memory I'm looking through the paper, that is correct. That time we had a big reform. There was a strategy there, there was a plan, there was an area where we needed to regulate everything. There was some fees implemented. We needed to have licenses for permits and so on, not just any building that goes out. So there was some more regulation that happened in that time until independence in 1970,
Yes.
where then we had the municipality became a government body and no more a municipality in the sense of the old-fashioned municipality.
Yes. And one of the facts that are very important to remember, Bahrain is one of the first GCC countries who actually initiated having a municipal body within the country. What can you tell us about that fact?
That is interesting because when we established the municipality in 1919, we were among, like you said, we were among the first country in the Arab world, among the first countries. Maybe there are a couple or two or three before us. I don't have the history of that. But I mean, we were among the first who had a municipality to regulate the wellness, the environment, the good living for people who are living in the capital.
Yes. And was it also part of it that because since the old days, Bahrain has always been more of a port, even for foreigners?
Absolutely,
yes.
I think. Because don't forget, Bahrain, if you look at it, okay, they always say that Delmon, where we had thousands of burial mounds in Bahrain, because people used to bring, they considered it a city of Al-Khulud, well, I don't know the translation in English, maybe,
yes.
What do you call it?
The city of, I mean, they thought that the Gardens of Eden started
absolutely.
in Bahrain.
So, and we had a major port where a lot of people coming in and out is on a regular basis. We had the Portuguese coming into Bahrain in the very yeah, okay. The Portuguese, we had them coming in. We had a lot of other people coming in. So basically, I think being that, we had to establish a municipality. We had a port on the north side, very near to the municipality. It was almost attached to the municipality on the northern side, the Manama port.
Yes, yes. And since the Manama port, we have other ports now. Like the Prince Salman port, as well as like the canals in Amwaj and all of these kind of things. And these are all places also the municipality takes care of because of the protection of the environment,
absolutely.
Because of the protection of the greeneries that are over there. And what can you tell us about these
Let's talk about the environment since you went into that area. Now that we have 600,000 cars on the road, producing, unfortunately, toxic fumes, in reality, carbon monoxide or whatever it is, okay? And since you need more greener area, because the greener area will at least absorb some of that toxic fumes. The Capital Municipal Council and the other councils, in reality, initiated to start and concentrate on creating more green areas. In the Capital Municipal Council, I think we have now, as it stands, 38 green areas, small gardens, big gardens, whatever it is, recreation areas and so on. So we have 38. In that sense, these areas have to change the environment. Going a little bit abroad to London, for example, London is famous that it has probably one of the biggest areas of green in a capital of the size of London. For example, in reality, it's astonishing to see almost more than 50% of London has green areas. Hopefully, the green helps to create a better environment, better health environment for everybody. And it also helps you to take away the stress. A human being, after working all day, would like to go and do a jog or walk or do some exercise, and he needs the area. Not everybody has his own, he can go into the gym or something. He needs to go into an area where he can get out the stress in his body.
Exactly. Now, protecting the environment and providing these beautiful green areas for the citizens and residents of Bahrain is one of the services only that the municipality provides. What are the main services that are provided by the municipalities to both citizens and the residents?
Okay. There are about 8 major items. I just summarize them in this. First of all, we are building restoration permits. Now no building goes up into the market, no house is built, no building is brought, no roads are done without a proper permit. The reason for the permit is basically we are trying to go into green. We are trying to become a more friendly environment, a more smart city in the sense. So that permit regulation will help in having better insulation on the walls, better insulation on the roof, double glazed windows, so you are using less air conditioning, means you are burning less Gas means you are saving both on energy and at the same time you are protecting the environment from fumes. That's one. Then advertising licenses. That is an important thing. We'll see how much there is billboards which are not really properly fixed.
Yeah.
We have tried, and we will talk about it maybe later, that we have come up with a legislation regarding this. It's important because there is commercial and non-commercial advertising billboards. And they are placed haphazardly. You know, you'll see some areas where the billboard, if you are walking on the pedestrian walk, it will hit your face because the height of it is below a human being. All billboards should be at least 2 meters high to avoid, you know, injury. So that is one area. The third area we are doing is basically we have a major, we have 2 companies in Bahrain now running. One which is Gulf City, and the other one is Obravzer, which are cleaning Bahrain. And it is cleaning on a very high level of cleanliness. Not just removing the rubbish. There are certain areas which is washed and cleaned with hot steam. So it is not just the cleaning, and so we have an upgrade, and that is a budget which is paid directly by the municipality, not the capital municipal council, but by the ministry itself. So that areas of garbage collection, we have areas where we have allocated deep places with special protection and so on to dump these things. But it's high time now, I think, and I believe it's very important that we start recycling. It's time that we start recycling plastics, papers, foul material, food stuff. You know, it's time we do that. Glass and so on and so forth, tires and so on. It is important that we start recycling. We have to create a recycling because our dump areas, sooner or later, there won't be enough.
And it's actually not difficult. I mean, we've seen a lot of countries, even non-developed countries, who have already have that kind of mentality of recycling, and they have even flourished because they use these recycled material to improve the productivity of their countries.
Yes, that is very true, and it's an income, by the way.
Yes.
You can create energy from some of the recycled materials. The plastic can be recycled and reused. The glass can be recycled and reused. There are a lot of income from it. But what's important is that it has to be, I think it should go to the public. To the private sector in the sense. Because in reality it's a cost thing, it's a very expensive thing. You are talking about at least a proper recycling system will cost about 200 million. And $200 million I'm talking about, I think, if my memory takes me right. Which is a lot of money. And maybe the budget is not there. So it needs to be given out as a PPP or a BOT, you know, some kind of work that the public sector can take it over from Bahrain or from outside Bahrain. Because outside Bahrain, they are well ahead on these places like Germany. You know, they have a lead in that area. And I'm sure a lot of the top German recycling companies will be willing to come and take over such a thing. But the whole thing is that they need to have it in an area where the dump is, in the south of Askar, I think, or this is where the dump area is.
But you can still use the awareness that the foreigners living in Bahrain bring with them, because I mean I've met a lot of people in the areas where there are a lot of foreigners like Amwaj and Sar and Budaya.
Absolutely.
And you see that they themselves separate their...
I am very impressed with the foreigners, because when we have tried to initiate the recycling bin. In the Capital Municipal Council, we created recycle bin, which is made out of paper. You throw all your rubbish in, you fold it, and you throw the whole thing. It is not so basically the bin itself is recycled. And this is an idea where I realize that the foreigners are doing it. Unfortunately, we need to educate our guys basically to do the same. When you go and give them the 2 types of plastics, let's say, the black and the blue or whatever, where the blue is recycled and the other one is not recycled. A lot of the foreigners are really sticking to that and obliging to do that, and it helps a lot. We have bins in areas, especially in supermarkets. You will see them with names and so on, recycling for charity and so on. You will go and you'll open and you'll see a mix inside. You cannot even recycle it because you need first of all to distribute and see where
should this go.
Yeah. So I've gone to the cleaning. There is the beautification of the streets and the landscaping. That's a major item. This is an area where we need to create more walking, pedestrian walking. Bahrain
it lacks
in the sense because in the sense you see it that it is you need, if we can have more trees, bigger trees and more walks, people will avoid using cars.
Yes.
And that way you can park the car outside and you can walk.
We have beautiful places like Dohat Arad and so on.
Exactly.
But like in Ghadibiyya and these areas,
hopefully in the new project that is coming up, which is for the old school, old souk.
Yes.
The beautification of the old souk, the restoration of the old souk, that will be the concept.
Yes.
No cars, all nice walking, covered areas, wherever it's possible, all the way from Bab al-Bahrain to Souk al-Magasis, which is now it is called, I don't know, Souk al-Magasis. Yes, I don't remember in name in English. I think it's the same thing. And this area will be a long area, which will attract basically the tourists and the locals, because it will have attraction that it used to attract. When I was young, every day afternoon, where do I go? I go to Bab al-Bahrain. That's where we go at that time. There was no other things that we used to do. But that's one of the areas. And I think what we said, we talked about the landscaping and we said establish parks and walkways and maintain them. You can have 38 parks, beautiful parks, with very nice facilities. But if you don't maintain, it is as if you have dropped the money in the ocean.
Exactly.
And this is where we need to concentrate on maintaining those parks. We need to find the budget. And I always believe if the budget is not available at a government level, let's ask the private sector to sponsor. Give the responsibility for this park, Nof or Ghudaybiyya or Salmaniya. Give it the responsibility to one of the leading traders on the island and tell them you're responsible for this. Please maintain it. That is a good idea. I think the idea of PPP is in a major area to help establish a sustainable maintenance of the parks that we have.
It's also in a necessary area because you're talking about an era now where the economy isn't just bad for governments, it's also bad for the private sector.
Absolutely.
And or to put your hands together, these are the small touches that if you help each other, if you put your hand in hand with them, you will beautify them, you will improve them. We also talked previously on one of our shows about the bridge, the King Hamad bridge that's coming up. And it was a very big concept that maybe PPP is here an important idea that the merchants that are using this, that will be getting a lot of money from this bridge.
And it could be a PPP between the Saudi traders and the Bahraini traders.
Exactly.
And let the government put the big chunk for creating the first infrastructure, the initial infrastructure. But then those traders who are using it, and it will be, it's a link. We are one. I always believe we are one country.
We are.
We are the baby, and you are the Saudi is our, the godfather or whatever. But I mean, it's important that we concentrate on that PPP business. We'll come to this because I believe that there are areas when we're talking about the services provided. Let's go back to there is the rebuilding of old houses. We had in the first period from the 2002 when it was established, when the municipal councils were established, until 2014, the rebuilding of old houses was taken into the initiation by the municipality, by the capital, by the council, by the municipal councils. It was taken away now. Now it's gone to the Ministry of Housing. But I mean, this is an important thing because a lot of the low-income people that cannot afford to repair their old houses, and we don't want them to go out of their old areas. We want a maintenance of the demography of Manama, basically, to stay. We need Bahrainis to stay there
Yeah.
Although there are foreigners, but we need that mix. The mix is an important part. In Manama, we have almost now 300,000 foreigners living and about 270,000 Bahrainis.
Bahrainis, yeah.
The Manama, the 121 blocks that comes under us.
Yeah.
After the extension, and they've added a few 50 blocks to us. So basically we have 120. But that's a big number. So we are almost 50-50 in that area. So we need to keep the Bahrainis there, and the only way to keep them is to rebuild the old houses that they had, because most of the houses that are in Manama are probably 40-50 years old. And they reach the stage where it's the old traditional construction method, which is not really, being an engineer, it will not stay
We're
for that.
just putting an AC might even crumble the whole
Absolutely.
wall.
So that is one area.
Understood.
And I think now we have also in the municipality, we are helping the low income also. Low income means anybody who gets a salary below 600.
Yes.
I'm just giving you the figures.
Yeah, sure.
We also help to waterproof their houses, because major problems in houses is due to leakage from the roof.
Yeah.
So we have a budget which is there, but people should realize that if they need the money, they need to come and say, okay, we need that money. Okay. Central market services. Yes. Central market, the Manama central market is almost now 45 years old. Yeah. And I think it's high time that we start looking at it. Maybe the concept of creating small markets in different areas may be a better concept initially, so that you have in every 5 or 6 blocks a small market with a car park in it. People don't need to go to the central market to Sisme. And then, because people have got the use of using the central market because it was all a walking distance. Yes. Most of the people in the area there used to walk.
Yeah, true.
And the area was smaller. Yeah. Now we are talking about an area which has almost, we are considered population-wise 45% of Bahrain.
Yeah.
And between Sitra and the central market is a long way.
It is.
And with the traffic today, it's a difficult.
And no park spaces.
Absolutely.
And the
so
heat.
We need to look at a different concept, because there is in Manama itself, there is the central market, there is Jid Hafs market, there is Sitra market. So we are more than one. But I think we need to start considering building small markets in areas where there is a lot of living population.
Yeah.
A change in the concept of the old traditional centralization.
Exactly.
Maybe that is one area.
Maybe, yeah. There's a point that I want to go back to just a little bit when it comes to basically, you talked about how providing these beautifications and keeping and taking care of the beautifications, as well as putting in things like recycling and providing companies that will recycle the material and all of this. This is actually an income for Bahrain. But does the municipality have any kinds of plans in providing awareness on taking care of the gardens that have been provided, and actually starting with recycling and how it will improve the future of Bahrain that way?
Since the Capital Municipal Council was established by a decree by His Majesty appointing the chairman, vice chairman, and the committee members in 2014, we started planning a strategy for the Capital Municipal Council. And the idea of the strategy is to see what we need to do in the next 4 years, basically. And one of the major items in our strategies was to look at recycling. In reality now, recycling has gone out to tender a few times, unfortunately, but it hasn't seen the light yet. Recently, almost 1 year ago or 2 years ago, there was a bid that went out, and the bid was awarded, but unfortunately the company that took over defaulted. So, and nothing happened since then. Recently there was 2-3 jobs that went out for recycling. Hopefully, if these go ahead, I think we'll see a big difference in the quality of you're talking about environment basically, but that is part of it.
Yeah.
What we need to start is we need to start at the major, where is the major part that comes out from the household houses, from the people itself. Let's start with them, creating them, the awareness to them to start recycling from the houses itself. For example, in the UK, you are forced, not by legislation, I think, but it is now it's become like a trend.
Yeah.
Everybody receives 2 bags, one for the rubbish and one for the recycling.
Yes.
And usually the recycling is much more because you have the plastics goes in, the paper goes in it, the glass goes in it, anything which is recyclable will go in it.
Yeah.
And what left is only the food stuff and which goes into
biological waste.
Biological waste.
Yeah, true.
And biological waste, you can make out of it a lot of things. I mean, but that's another story.
Fertilizer and so on.
That's another.
Yeah.
But here we need to start that.
Yeah.
And we started, right, I said that, but we need to start doing it more aggressively.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you need? You need a budget. You need to create within the municipality a budget to produce 2 separate types of adjustment. We have now we give away plastic bags. The municipality does, but one color.
Yeah.
Only black.
Yes.
I think it's high time now we change it and produce 2 types.
Yes.
And start recycling and gathering the recycling in areas and with the recycling companies that will hopefully will start.
And hopefully private sectors as well. We talked about the PPP. I mean, I know you mentioned UK, but I know for a fact in Germany, big supermarket chains, they have machines right at the door where you recycle plastic and glass.
Absolutely.
And you get actual money out of them. For like
you put a bottle, glass bottle, they give you, I don't know,
25 cents or 15 or so on. And you can use this in the supermarket itself. So it all goes in within one loop, and you're helping the environment, and you're helping even people who are poor and cannot
I think it's a joint initiation. I think the government with the private sector should put their hands together and create I will not call it a lajna, because I will not call it a committee, because the committees don't really achieve much. But I think we need to work together.
Yes.
And we need to trust each other that, okay, if I as a private sector take over, I will do it for the good of the country.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, I'm living here.
Yes.
And I'm breathing the air that is in my own country. Yes. So that's important.
Yes.
I think you have a third question.
Before we go to that third question, on the same point, Bahrain is a small country. So anything that is fixed will show immediately. So it's not very difficult to see the changes that people do for their own country. When we go to the distribution of the governorates that affect your work, considering that you have 121 blocks, as you have mentioned, how did it change the way your municipality works, how your committees work?
We were given a very difficult job, basically. I think it's a challenge for the chairman, the vice chair, the chairman, and the rest of the committee, because we have been given, from the 71 blocks that originally was there, which was a much smaller area, another 50 from the northern and from the middle area.
Yes.
So that made it 121. And it became a combination of commercial and residential.
Yes.
Adding areas like Sitra, Jid Hafs, Al-Akr, Al-Ma'amir to the Manama to the capital municipal council, or to the capital municipality.
There's a drastic difference.
There is now a combination of, from where we had only basically commercial and industrial, now we have also residential.
Yes.
So there is a diversion of the capital, the municipality services that is required. So that's the area we're talking about. There is, other than the increase of the geographic, there is a diversification of the facilities that we need to give. What you give to the houses is different than what you give to the industrial.
Yeah.
There's a big difference in there. Although we were increased by almost 40% or 45%, we haven't received the number of people to cater for that, to cover that.
Okay.
And I'm being a Shisma, and I've been saying it for almost in most of the cases, that we need more manpower in the capital municipality. Because without the manpower, we have, let's say we have 20 supervisors who goes around and inspect any foul work or any jobs that are done not correctly, or any
and his schedule might be full because of all
absolutely.
of the work he has to
And
do.
we have now basically a 20, and basically we need 40.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the budget is not there.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy task. And people will see that we are not performing. And people will see that the capital municipality is not performing. But basically, they are performing to the extent that they can do.
Yes.
And I think that is important. And we said that the burden on the administration in terms of providing the services, such as hygiene and licensing and so on, is limited because the budget is not there. They are even reducing the number of the departments, putting every 3 in 1.
Yeah.
One director who is in charge of it, which is difficult.
Yes, it is. It is very difficult.
Oh, I am getting a little bit tense now.
No, it's okay.
And we didn't have, I think, the transition period enough.
Yeah.
Because from the time it was done until the time it was a very short period.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It was quick. Now, when we look at, these are some of the things like any other governmental or even private institutions, there are things that have to be fixed and there are things that have to be worked on. But one of the things that Bahrain Municipality is really in the forefront on is that Gulf nationals and foreigners equally are eligible to vote in municipal elections. What can you tell us about what the conditions are so they are granted the right to do so?
Okay. I think it doesn't exist I don't think it exists in any of the countries in the world where the other than the local living or the people who are permanently living in a country are allowed to vote for municipal council members. We are here now, we're going not our side, I'm going to the 3 other municipal councils, which is Muharrak Northern and the Southern.
Yes.
What's important is that since the the law, which I think the Minister of Justice just talked about, he said that the law, which is law number 3 for the year 2002 on the system of election of members, allowed the foreigners who own either a land or a house or a flat, which automatically he will have a permanent RP, resident permit, is allowed to vote for these, because in reality he is paying the same fees like the Bahrainis are.
True.
And he is getting the services from the municipality like the others are doing. The only reason why the others are not paying, which don't own, is because they are paying it indirectly through the 10% they pay to the municipality.
Okay.
So that's the only, and this is very interesting because this will help the decision of who's, even to the extent is the only thing is that is not allowed is that the foreigner will not be eligible to go into the council member. That's the only thing. But he is allowed to put his vote in. He's allowed, if he sees somebody who he feels is good enough, to go and vote. And there's a big number of them. It's not, we are not talking about that. So that is something which permits them to do that. And I think that is important. You'll find that who own, this is something which gives Bahrain a major credit. That we do not differentiate between the foreigner who owns things in Bahrain and the Bahraini who owns things.
Perfect. Thank you very much. During a meeting with the Minister of Works, Municipal Affairs and Urban Planning and a number of ministry officials, His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa delivered a speech in which he highlighted the quality economic and urban development that is rapidly taking place in the Kingdom of Bahrain. He thanked the ministry for the tremendous efforts exerted in establishing projects that support sustainable urban development and established infrastructure meeting the best international standards. His Majesty noted the evolution of municipal work in Bahrain since the establishment of the municipality of Manama around 100 years ago, which activated the first legal system for municipalities in the Arab region. He said the advanced level of comprehensive national development must be maintained in line with the ministry's important responsibility as a services ministry to prioritize the ongoing development of infrastructure networks and public services across the country. His Majesty also thanked the presidents and members of municipal councils for their efforts and collaboration with the ministry. He added that he is looking forward to setting a special day to mark the anniversary of the start of municipal work in the Kingdom of Bahrain in 2 years' time. His Majesty the King concluded by reiterating appreciation of all achievements which reflected in the loyalty of the people of Bahrain towards their homeland, as well as their pride in national service and national heritage. Now, Bahrain, His Majesty the King and the wise leadership are very great supporters, as we have already mentioned, of the municipality's work and its history and so on. So what can you tell us about this 100-year marking? You are coming up to 100 years of municipal work, of the establishment of this, this very grand and important body. What can you tell us about His Majesty's emphasis on your importance?
His Majesty has initiated the concept of the Capital Municipal Council almost 4 years ago. He wanted to bring something new into the service of the municipality by having an appointed chairman and members for the Capital Municipal Council for one main reason. The reason was that he wanted to have a combination of different professional people available in that area. Yeah. i.e. he wanted to have engineers, doctors, finance guys, traders, lawyers, in the sense, people who can together have the vision and mission to reach out without needing to go back, because with that experience, they didn't need to go back and ask for any support. They will have the knowledge themselves. Yeah. And it started in 2014 when he appointed us, and then we started as an official people from 2015. We'll finish in the end of 2018. Yeah. Now looking at that, we started in 1919. We are going to, in 2019, we're going to have 100 years of municipal work in Bahrain, yeah, which is a milestone. In reality, it's a milestone for any country in the Gulf. It's 100 years of work, organized work in Bahrain. This will give Bahrain a ranking in reality. Mm-hmm. It will take it up in the ladder of organized service to the people who are living in Bahrain. Nobody can say that the government of Bahrain is not taking it seriously to enhance and improve the wellness and the environment that the Bahrainis are living in. Yes. And the foreigners. Yes. Don't forget, we have almost 50% foreigners in Bahrain. Yes. So it is an initiation, and it's an expensive initiation. Yes. I think with the words that His Majesty said, is this will make us all prepare ourselves for that 100-year celebration. I hope we have enough time. I think 2 years, to me, I believe it's not enough. But we should start from now. Yes. I think we should have a committee that should now start preparing for that function. Yes. Because it's a function which will cover all of Bahrain. Yes. And municipality touches on everybody. It is not just, for example, other ministries will touch on certain areas, but municipality is touching on the day-to-day people, from the old guy to the young person. Sure. And this is the difference, I think. Yes. And I think that this marker, which is coming up very soon, probably at the end of next year, is also important, is going to be very successful, because the portfolio of the municipality is already vast. It has Correct. So many things that Absolutely. It has
It has, I mean, we were talking backstage and we talked about streets that were used for horse racing.
Absolutely.
That are now parking lots and that are now
Correct.
basically cars going through and everything. We were talking about, we also, one of the very important things are the sweet water wells that have been in Bahrain. Some of them closed and another ones are being protected and so on. This is all due to the municipality.
Imagine in 1929, the municipality took over the responsibility of water supply to provide sweet water to the houses and to the shops. 1929 we're talking about.
Wow.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
We believe that what we are looking for the 100 years is it will enhance the democratic location of Bahrain. It is very important, and it will provide the right environment for residents, attracting investment, and that's very important, and supporting the local and regional economy.
Yes.
That's very important.
Engineer Mazen, we have come somehow to the end of our show. It is it's a very vast discussion that we always want to talk about, but I really want to ask you, is there anything that you can tell us about the ongoing projects and the future plans?
I will go very quickly since we are coming to the end of our show. There are certain items which the capital municipality is working on. We are trying to develop the system of municipal laws. I will not go into detail. I have a lot onto that, but that is one, which is all related to municipal requirements.
Yes.
We'll have to control the executive body and participate in decision making. The municipality itself has to reach, we have to come and administer and have an ISO certification.
Yes.
That will enhance the caliber of work that's been done at our level and at the capital municipality and at the other municipalities. Yes. Third, development of municipal services. We need to start concentrating on that. We need to have e-government.
Yeah.
We need to have a system where people can contact a number, tawassul,
yes.
which we call it tawassul. We need to have everything now paperless. We should go out of the paperless.
Yes.
And with the support and with, we have reached a big stage in the e-government. I think it's high time that we avoid any papers. And I hope I will have the computer here and I can read everything with it without, without using any paper. Because today you are basically, you are cutting trees to get the thing in front of me.
Exactly.
And fourth, you have the development of project and municipal investment. That is an item which needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
And contribute to the development of urban planning. Urban planning, without our support, being engineers, who has worked in this business, among us, there's about 3 engineers we have in the capital municipal councils, can give a lot and help in the urban planning of the country. Because urban planning is a very specialized area.
Yes.
6, spreading the municipal awareness. With this, for example, we have created a concept called My Beautiful City.
Yes.
Asimati Ajmal in Arabic.
Yes.
And we have created other things. We have attended in the World Environment Day. We have created, so there are a lot of things, awareness campaigns that we are doing. We are going almost every month during the good weather to clean our beaches.
Yeah.
So these are the areas which we have.
Yes.
I will go to, since we are short of time, there are 7 or a few ongoing projects that we are hoping to develop.
Yeah.
Develop, and the central market, that is develop it means create a new concept. Maybe it's the concept with more a commercial than just the central market.
Yeah.
And we need to air condition the vegetable market. That is an important
Yeah.
item. We have done that. We are happy to say that they already fixed air conditioning in the vegetable market, and that will make the environment, because when you don't have air conditioning in our kind of weather,
yes.
and especially this year we had four very hot months.
Yeah.
During the summer, I think we need that.
Yes.
We need to develop the Pearl complex.
Yeah.
The Lu'lu'a, where
Yes.
it is in there. We need to develop and revive the old wells that existed. The water park, الحديقة المائية,
Yeah.
Al-Fatih Coast. We
Yes.
need to create something that is available in other countries in the Gulf, all along the beach.
Yes.
We have a nice, almost 3 kilometer of beach.
Yes.
Starting from the northern side, the bridge, all the way to Al-Fatih
Yes.
and Shisbeh, and even beyond.
Yes.
That we need to create a really open beach with a walk and beach for people to swim, public beach
True.
with shops and so on. We need to create that concept.
Yes.
And also implement the laws of street vendors. الباعة الجائلين, basically. Street vendors today are haphazardly being randomly. And this is we need to control. And there is a law which I haven't had a chance to discuss about, but there is a law coming out on this subject. We need to extend the plan for collection of funds.
Yeah.
We have a lot of funds. We have an income of the capital municipal council of 43 million dinars a year.
Yes.
We need to try and utilize it in the sense to enhance the capital. Basically, we are talking about the capital, but I mean all the rest of the country, but basically the capital is the attractive people where you have all the hotels, all the five-star hotels, all the events is happening in it.
Yes.
So basically you need to
That's
work
where
on
it
that
is.
area.
Yes.
And organization of popular markets. You remember we had the Aswaq
Yes.
al-Sha'biyya.
Yes.
We need to work on that.
That's are also touristic sites.
We have lands in the municipality which we need to invest in. And this is where I came into the subject of PPP or BOT.
Yes.
We have those lands. Why shouldn't we should be really starting to do work on them?
Exactly.
Instead of us paying rent and the other areas paying rent.
Yeah.
We can build our own headquarter and have the capital municipal council, the municipal council, the one-stop shop, the Tubli area,
Yeah.
all in one building.
Exactly.
With car park, proper car park, and people can come in and park, and then whoever is going to invest will get the earning of the rest of it.
Exactly.
But I mean, we will avoid paying lots and lots of money to the outside, where we have our own lands. And last but not least, we need to coordinate with the replanning of the capital area and commercial streets.
Yes.
Now we are putting a hold on commercial streets because commercial streets create road hazards.
Yes.
It's a bottleneck when you have a commercial
Yeah.
street. Everybody stops in the middle of the road to
Exactly.
buy something from the market.
Yes.
We are trying to control that.
Yes. Well, that's a very vast plan, and we have come to the end of our show. But I want, before we end, in your last word, to tell people why sometimes there are some late projects that have become late. There are actual environmental issues because of that. But can you tell us that in your last word to us?
2000, I think we had the drop in the oil price.
Yeah.
Was almost now 3 years ago. I think about
Almost
3 years ago. And that drop, I think, reduced the budget that was really allocated for a lot of the infrastructure work. Thanks to the GCC countries, they have supported us in a lot of support to do other works.
Yes.
For example, the airport is being subsidized by them. The social house is being subsidized by them. A lot of the bridges and the roads has been subsidized by the GCC countries. But even then, that covers a certain area. It doesn't cover everything. And today, with the condition, the weather condition has changed drastically in the last few years. We never used to have temperatures maintained till the 50 degrees.
Yes.
Exactly. And workers, in reality, when you have a job and your worker cannot really do any work between the time of, let's say, 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, means you're losing half of the day.
Yes.
And you say, okay, you'll work at night. It's not that productive.
Yeah.
A human being is productive during sunlight.
Yes.
And that's the area. So I wouldn't say that there isn't the design or the ambition or the push for doing this work, but it is the conditions itself hasn't helped us as a municipality and as a government over the last few years.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Engineer Mazen AlUmran, for
Thank
being
you.
with us today.
Thank you,
and
Sara.
thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. And we would also like you to come and invite you to watch us next week in another episode of Inside Edition.